Real news. True, honest, and not fake news.
Today is the revolution of Antifa that didn't exactly happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, we're not supposed to talk about the guys that have guns to the back of our heads telling us to...
Really? Those scary white
Marx
men?
was, if you really read him, communism has never been tried. Wait, is that, I'm supposed to say that, right? No? Okay, yeah. So if you didn't get this, we were supposed to have some sort of revolution? Is that right?
Well, that's what they called it.
I don't see any revolting going on.
No.
None
at all. There was like a few people in New York that were out and
waste
about.
of a full-page ad in the New York Times.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. They wasted George Soros's money. I mean, they totally wasted it. Like, they all slept in their parents' basements till 2. They finally came out, the few that did, and they got this big ad in the New York Times, which is legit. People were saying Alex Jones was full of crap for it. Like, what's a terrible outlet called? Salon. They said that Alex Jones was lying when he said there was a full ad in the New York Times of actual, an Antifa ad. They're like, no, Jones is lying. No, he was actually right. I have a copy of it. It says, this nightmare must end. The Trump-Pence regime must go. November 4th it begins. Be there. Join with the thousands who will gather in the cities, towns across the country. A movement of protests that continue every day and night, growing until we become millions, determined not to stop until this regime is driven from power. And it literally says refusefascism.org. Sorry, they're not a company. They're not that organized. They're not even an organized organization. And yeah, it's Soros paid. I mean, that's pretty much all that is.
Maybe they just saved up tips from Starbucks long enough.
After they smashed the windows of Starbucks.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's secretly they just didn't want to have to work the next day, so they wanted to break. That's why they keep going after Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So what else is new? Antifa's disorganized and kind of useless.
Pretty much.
You can't even they're not even good at doing the things that they're supposed to be that they themselves are supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I was really sad this morning when I woke up to no trending hashtag on Twitter.
I know.
I was like, oh.
Like when I saw all
I wanted I wanted to see dead Antifa on the streets. I mean, I was hoping for it.
You set the bar a little high, but I every time I look at the Twitter thing, there'll be on Saturdays, there's always football trends and stuff. So when I saw Mizzou and it was a bunch of cities, I was like, oh my God, the protests happen. Oh, they're not. These are just college football games.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was protests at the colleges. Okay. No.
Nope. Nothing.
No. Yeah. So that's all we're gonna say about that.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
we can't talk about how little it was because there's nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a negative here. There's a vacuum. This is literally just filling time. Okay, what's the next topic?
Good transition. Story that happened at the beginning of the week that seems to have already been forgotten, because we've had quite a bit going, was Robert Mueller finally made his first charges. He charged Manafort and Rick Gates. He charged them, but then they surrendered. And then I forget the one guy's name, has a really confusing name. Also, turn himself in. These two are pleading not guilty. The other guy is pleading guilty. Manafort was charged with 12 charges. 11 of them were from 2014 earlier, so nothing to do with the Trump campaign. And the only thing we learned from this is that Manafort's a dirty lobbyist, and there's no Russian collusion. Shocking.
Yeah, no. So I mean, they got him on stuff like tax stuff and campaign
money laundering.
Yeah, money laundering. It's just petty financial crimes. Pretty much. That's what I was under. Wait, were any of them espionage?
They didn't call it espionage. They said it's it doesn't really say I'll look it up, but it's not really it's worded really funny, some of these.
Yeah, it's eh.
Yeah.
They didn't really do anything. Maybe somebody accidentally got a hold of something. It's just, and once again, very clear here. All of this happened. All of these crimes occurred well before the beginning of the Trump campaign. So it's a whole lot of nothing. Paul Manafort. Wow. Oh my goodness. Somebody that worked in Washington his whole life was corrupt.
Wow.
What? Never could have imagined that. I'm sure they could probably pursue every single person that that works in that city, in the government. Sorry, that like it's a lobbyist or campaign person in Washington D.C. and find there's probably all the same charges on them. It's like, wow, you found somebody that's like works in one of the most corrupt cities in the world, for a massively oversized, unwieldy government run by a deep set of establishment insiders, and you found financial crimes that he's committed. Wow.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah. Shock imagined.
Well, one of them was even just like false statements. Like that was like one of his like big charges that CNN was like front page. It's like, come on, guys, you're really grabbing at straws.
Yeah, but like once again, like the amount of stuff that like Hillary's campaign people like just. I mean,
they funded that dossier.
I do try to, not just defer to, just because they did something wrong, you did something wrong too. That's not an answer. I mean, Paul Manafort did something wrong, but he worked in Washington. Nothing. Probably every single person that works in Washington did something wrong to get where they are. Yeah. Hillary's campaign people genuinely did stuff wrong for the specific purpose of, we're going to talk about Donna Brazile, right?
Yeah.
For the specific purpose of changing the outcome of, electoral politics. Yeah. Nothing that has been demonstrated with regard to the Trump campaign is even close to that. But
Vince, there's those Russian bots on Facebook that bought ads.
Somebody in Russia bought ads on Facebook for, they were political ads. Were they even, it was even firmly established that they were specifically pro-Trump, or were they just anti-Hillary?
Well, they said, it was like a mix.
In support of Gary Johnson. You don't know.
Ooh, Gary Johnson got won by Russian bots.
Yeah.
No, they were. I forget who was testifying about that, and it was some person with credibility and higher upness. He said that only less than 2% of Facebook people actually saw these millions of ads that they supposedly got. It hasn't affected most people. It's nothing. It's just nothing.
Whatever. I mean, once again, it's still not illegal for somebody in a different country, and it's not. It has not been demonstrated that it was in fact the government. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Yeah. So it wasn't Putin's government doing this. It was just somebody in Russia who liked Trump that wanted to buy some ad time for him.
Assuming we can figure out that they're Russian.
And
we know that
server,
they can.
Somebody who liked Trump used a server that happened to be in Russia in order to Okay, if you have complex computer systems, there's I know this from having looked into website stuff, that sometimes it's actually easier to run through, host a website or web services for yourself in Russia because it's cheaper to, electricity costs are cheaper, and all kinds of infrastructure things are cheaper, and they don't have as many regulations and taxes and blah 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 in Russia, so you can get away with doing that, and it's not the most reliable from what I've heard, but there is perfectly legitimate reasons why somebody actually in the United States or some other country would have computer systems that looked like they came from Russia.
Right.
So it's once again not even confirmed that it was a Russian person, but it's also, even if it is a Russian person, it's still probably not the government, which was the initial claim that it was the Russian government that helped Donald Trump get elected. So I mean, we're giving it too much credit just by talking about it. Let's go to Donna Brazile.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because I want to bring this one thing up.
Look at real transition. Wow.
Yeah, we will. The one thing I like that you said on Monday was that the cleanest person in Washington is probably Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, is he the only person that hasn't colluded with foreign powers and state actors? The amount of the entire staff. All of the national security agencies, every 98% of people in Washington did not want that man in the position he currently occupies.
Yep.
And all they can come up with on him is some completely completely fake dossier
Yeah.
about hookers in Russia
Peeing on him.
Yeah, this is all they have on this man. Like he must genuinely be the cleanest man who's ever held that position. Like I don't honestly
real.
know what to say. Think about that. Like just look at you and your normal little life. You go
Hey, my
about
life's not little.
you have a family. You do your normal things. Imagine everybody had access to every single time you ever interacted with any technology for your entire life. Could something not have been found? Like what could they find on you? And they have nothing. Like all the CIA, the NSA, everybody does not want him where he is. The FBI, probably a bunch of people in the FBI anyway.
Deep State doesn't like him.
And they have nothing on the man.
Yeah, they have nothing. It's impressive.
He must genuinely be the cleanest person in Washington.
He is, but Don Brazil isn't. For those who didn't see,
he's not.
She admitted in a Politico article that the DNC rigged the primary for Hillary, and she was the head of the DNC, basically. And when that came out, it trended on Twitter, but I mean, some people saw it, but CNN was like, "Oh, this isn't a big deal. I mean, it doesn't mean she rigged it." Like literally, they were saying that. And then I think the funniest thing I saw was Pocahontas, her reaction. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren, goofy Elizabeth Warren. She's
spreading bull.
Oh yeah, she's so funny because she sends a tweet out, and I it's a real tweet. It's still up. You can see it on October of 2016 before the election. It said, and I quote, "It's not rigged at real Donald Trump. You're losing fair and square. Put on your big boy pants because this is what accountability looks like." And then she goes on CNN a few days ago after Don Brazil and was asked, did the DNC rig the primaries? And she just said, yes.
I mean, like
it's only rigged
I'm not
when
gonna,
it's not.
I'm gonna like, I'm not surprised. I mean,
No, I'm
okay,
not.
Of course, I'm not surprised. But I'm, like, I don't even feel that bad. Like, of course, it was rigged. They tried desperately to rig it against Donald Trump, but he had too much popular will behind him.
They were trying to pull the delegates. Remember, they were trying to flip them.
Yeah. They tried to do it to the very end. Can you imagine if they succeeded? Like, how much worse of an example of egregious miscalculation, miscarriage of justice that would be, and a general subversion of the electoral system that we've developed and have respected and has served us fairly well throughout since the founding of this country. It's nothing compared to what they tried to do to Donald Trump, and nobody's talking about that. Nobody's on saying about CNN, like, look, they tried. The man clearly had way more support among Republicans during the Republican primary than any other candidate, and they tried to the last day, to the day of the RNC, to take it away from him, to make sure to all kinds of different things. Not one person was out there saying maybe this isn't like actually what we should be doing, because like the people chose, but oh wow, so they used the I mean, so is it surprising that the DNC rigged no, it's just that Bernie wasn't as charismatic as Trump was. Like, what
are you talking about? I wanted health care for all. It's a living right.
Free pudding cups.
We will give free pudding cups to all Americans because they deserve it. It's a human right.
Yes, pudding cups are human rights. I don't know. I gotta get back into my.
You have a better
voice.
Jewish New York accent than me. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I got work.
That was a little bit. That was like more like what's his face? Like
the guy from SNL.
Terminator. What's his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that was.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway,
I like that one.
All right. So yes, of course they rigged it. Like, is anyone surprised about? No one's surprised by this. I'm honestly. The most surprising thing is they admitted it.
Yeah, this was shocking that she admitted this, and that's why I was surprised. I'm like, why is she writing this? What's her point? And everybody is trying to. I think what Pocahontas is doing is she's trying to go, yeah, the DNC rigged it, and I don't like it. She's trying to distance herself from this establishment.
Yeah,
and maybe she's gonna run 2020. I don't know, but she's leaving that door open.
I think that's probably true.
And if she does, please run. I mean, the best thing would be Hillary. The second best thing would be Pocahontas. She'd get absolutely destroyed in the debate.
I mean, like, she's probably the only person that's like less likable than Hillary Clinton. I mean,
I have a few names I could add to that.
Well, I mean, just among likelies for although Debbie Wasserman Schultz would probably give her a run for her money for screeching harpy.
Alex Jones called her like some sort of I forget, he had a funny insult for her. He called her some sort of like Shih Tzu. It was so funny. Sorry, that was a bad tangent.
Yeah. So once again, right? We're not surprised, but my theory is this is an attempt of some of the DNC insiders, the Democratic kind of men or people behind the curtain to like sort of rebrand to make it appear as though they're sloughing off the old skin, like oh my gosh, there's infighting. Jeez. There's infighting. Oh, look at this. Oh, geez, the bad people. Hillary Clinton, we don't like her anymore.
Yeah.
She's bad. Oops. And like, oh my goodness, yep, we did it. We rigged the DNC. I am sorry. Bernie's never gonna be elected again. But we're still sorry. We promise we won't do that anymore. Just make sure we can. Oh wait, this is a thing you didn't mention it, but what was that? Somebody, where was it? There was some like guy running in New York, or not New York, California, and like there was an ad that was like about corruption, political corruption, and
I think I heard about this.
And then like the running, like the opposition to the guy went on news and said like that it was racist because only white people care about political corruption. Like that was his main point. It was like that. It was like he's making campaign ads about about political corruption and like stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, that's
racist.
Do you think that it's racist to make a camp? Okay.
Jesus
like what is the tacit admission there? It's like we think so lowly of our diverse factions of our party that we think that they don't have no care. They have no attachment to the fidelity of the systems. They literally, pretty sure what that is a tacit admission of is all they care about is the Gibbs me dat, like like your handouts, and that's just not fair, because I know there are probably a lot of them that do honestly care about and I'm sure there's plenty of white people that don't that just want their handouts too, and that's just and then the bigotry of low expectations. I don't even like using that narrative, but that is such a
what they do.
Blatant example of that. But yeah,
you think they learn after Hillary Clinton was like the biggest identity politics cheerleader, and because partially that was the reason why she lost. You'd think they learn. They didn't.
I don't think they will.
They
they're going to double down on it.
They are, and I'll show you doubling down after the break of when we talk about that ad that was over the weekend that was freaking awful. But the one thing I'm trying not to go back to the beginning, but when you're talking about like Trump had like the most support, people forget he got the most votes out of any Republican candidate ever. I know, yes, the population has increased, but he's gotten the most votes out of any Republican ever. And Bernie Sanders won some states that they took away from him, and he did not get more delegates than Hillary. People forget these things from the election, but he actually won. I forget which state. He won more votes, but he got less delegates.
I mean, it was it is ridiculous to even to look at the modern circumstances with the DNC and go, like, oh wow, yep, they rigged it. Like what they tried to do to Trump was so much worse. And it's like they're the Democrats, that they've always been corrupt, and they probably always will be corrupt. Yep. Because they're
it's Washington.
Yeah. So we got anything else on
the one last thing I wanted to mention? The biggest news, the greatest news, and the worst news all in one was that my Twitter @RealDonaldTrump was taken down for 11 minutes by this loser Twitter employee. I mean, he's just a loser. He's disgruntled. It was on his last day. I was so disappointed in Twitter. Nobody liked him. He's a total failure.
You're fired. You're fired.
Twitter.
Get him out of here.
Your employee. You're fired.
Get him out of here.
Don't get coats. That's always my favorite one. I have a terrible Trump impression. I tried, but
You're fired.
He had his Twitter taken down for 11 minutes. The world panicked. He actually then responded on Twitter. My Twitter account was taken down for 11 minutes by a rogue employee. I guess the word must finally be getting out and having an impact. I love his tweets.
Just like,
it's so funny.
What does that mean? I get
I know
what
it
he's saying.
means.
He's just like, he's just got this amazing style about the way he
So
communicates. That's like, you know exactly what he's talking about, but nonetheless, it's like that's definitely not how I would say that, but yes, I get it.
Did you see his Michael Moore tweet?
No, I didn't.
Oh
what
my
did he say?
God, that thing is so funny. Let me find it.
Did you see Michael Moore already predicting that Donald Trump's going to win 2020?
Oh, yeah, and he's right. He won't win. He'll probably win by bigger margin, I think. This was so funny because Trump tweeted this a few days ago, and Scott Adams was laughing so hard at this, and I was too, because it's just so... It's so Trump, and it's so self-aware. This is his tweet. I'm going to try reading without laughing. While not at all presidential, I must point out that the sloppy Michael Moore show on Broadway was a total bomb, all in caps, and was forced to shut down. Sad. Just not at all presidential is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, Well,
God.
But you know what that is? Look, like, the
It's
man's a
self-awareness.
genius. No. Yeah, it's self-awareness.
And
but
self-deprecating.
It's like what do you... You can't it's
so funny.
It just removes so much of the clout behind all of those accusations. Oh, he's unpresidential.
Yeah.
He's unpresidential.
Yeah. He embraces it.
He doesn't speak like he thinks he's better than you. That means that he's that he's some sort of drooling idiot. And that's he just took all of the wind out of those sails because he's like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I love about him.
I'm unpresidential. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's why people voted for me. You morons.
Deal with it.
That's what that tweet says. It's so brilliant.
It is. I know. That's what I love. People are
That's
like
a master.
Everybody that tells him to stop tweeting is an idiot.
Yeah.
His tweets are amazing. They're on
all
point.
the people that said he would never get elected for all the things that they criticized him about are now criticizing him for continuing to do all the things that got him elected.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Now we're going to talk about the terrorist attack by the Religion of Peace that happened over a few days ago. In New York City, a ISIS terrorist drove a Home Depot truck into a crowded bike path, killing 8 people. And, trucks are, not all trucks are bad, right? Not all trucks.
Hashtag not all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's got nothing to do with
if
Islam.
you raise the trucks right, then if you're a little bit more tolerant of their different cultural perspective, then then they don't run over people. But that's just the bigotry we have to deal with in this country. That's what we really need to fix. We should probably just put like Home Depot logos on our Facebook profiles, like filter on that. That would be hilarious. If somebody should have done that as a troll.
That's great.
That is, I wish I would have thought of that a while ago. That would have been like somebody just makes that filter.
That's a great idea. Holy crap!
How many people I would get to do that as like oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, pray for Home Depot. Get trending people.
I mean, it's already going to go down the toilet. I mean, look at this was just the nail in the coffin. It's probably not even going to be here next time or this time next year. I mean, look, all of the people that actually repair their homes are dying and going to nursing homes where they don't have to repair anything.
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
People these days don't know how to hammer or anything.
I know how to hammer things.
Some of us do.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yes.
Shots fired.
All right, Mikey. I know how to hammer things too.
I need a
I'm
hammer.
trying, in general, a population-wide thing.
You're right.
The people don't do that. People don't fix their homes anymore. They call people to fix their homes. They call people that buy supplies and tools in bulk from the manufacturer that don't go to Home Depot. And so Home Depot is actually panicking. This was an article a couple weeks ago that the CEOs are not sure what to do because there's not going to be a market for them. It's one of them, probably Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those two is going to have to shut down. There's no way they can both survive.
I think Lowe's is doing better.
Yeah, I agree, which is why I started by saying Home Depot is probably going to be the one that dies. But yeah, so if you for some reason live under a rock or don't have internet, or just are first coming into the world now, what was it, last weekend? or was it
This happened
what
this
was it?
week.
Monday.
It was like a few days
right?
ago. Wait, what?
It was no, whatever.
It happened the day I took a nap because I woke up and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's a terrorist attack."
No, it was
believe
it's
it was
actually
Monday.
I'm not.
We are so concerned
I'm-
about when this happened.
Wow.
Our
I'm really
accuracy is
confused.
impeccable.
Yeah,
at Real
there's
News.
so many of them that it's hard to keep track. And there was-
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Okay,
Tuesday, there
so
you go.
Tuesday like evening or something, or like around noon. Or, I don't know. Some man who.
Don't assume his gender.
Yeah, true. What the heck's his name? Something I can't pronounce. Something that sounds like
That's racist.
Yeah, it's something that sounds like food that would give me diarrhea.
What type of food do you eat or not
well,
eat?
I don't eat that food. Shish kebab or what the heck was his name? Now I want to
I
find
mean,
out.
at least-
I
Somebody
don't.
get
I
on
don't
this.
care about his
Let's
name.
figure out his
I
name.
really don't care about him.
Anyway, some.
He got arrested.
So an individual of the religion, a member of
peace.
the religion of pieces,
Yes.
drove a rented Home Depot truck into a crowd of people, killing 8 and sending 11 to the hospital. And the man was not born here.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah. He was here as. He was an Uber driver, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So because we don't have enough people that can drive cars in this country, we need to bring in others of different. Like it really takes a
That's
diversity
kinda
of cultural
demeaning.
experience just why would you ever want to get in an Uber and see somebody that you could relate to in the car? Like that would be horrible.
And he came in
anyway.
through.
Yeah. So of course he. Yes. Oh yeah.
I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
in case you forgot.
No, I
love
didn't
you.
forget. I was
The
building
name-
up to it.
Yeah, the name of the program he got through that Chuck Schumer loves is
Mm-hmm.
called the Diversity Visa Lottery Program.
Oh yes. So the specific purpose. So this is a lottery. It's basically like a grab bag of random people that have absolutely no reason to be in the United States. That's the specific
crazy.
purpose. I mean, think about it. Like the diversity visa. So that means that there is not one single possible reason that they could think of to put on the title of this program other than the fact that they're not American and have nothing to do with America. They have no shared values. They have no shared heritage. They have no shared, understanding or pride in this country. They are literally just people that are not Americans, and they want to bring them here. Think of the audacity of your government having a program called the Diversity Visa Lottery. It's just like, it's like, oh my gosh, your neighborhood is so nice and amazing. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take, people that just aren't you. They don't care what you, they don't care about what you care about. They don't care about, your family, the future of your communities, the future of your financial institutions. And just plop them, in your nice little suburbs, just specifically for the purpose of enriching you, of diversifying your. Like, how arrogant does your government have to be to say you're a bigot and you need to have other cultures foisted upon you without your approval, against your will, because this is unpopular. It's been demonstrated. It's not only just people behind Trump. There's a significant plurality of even Democrats that want immigration restricted. And
They used to want a wall, but they just didn't,
well, no, yeah, of course, but I mean, it's just absurd. I'm all triggered.
You're triggered?
I'm triggered.
Are you triggered, Vince?
Yes, I'm triggered. And so, 8 people are dead. Actually, was it like 4 of them weren't even American citizens, though?
No, they were from
It was just in New
Argentina, I
York.
think.
Yeah,
They were on, like, a
and
trip
one
together.
was from Belgium, I think.
Oh.
It was like 2 from. Anyway, there was a couple people
tragic.
from other countries. That were killed, but I mean, regardless, they were on American soil. It was, some of them were diplomats and like something related to some government, whatever. We had the responsibility of ensuring a safe environment for them, and we failed because of our commitment to the breakdown, the slow, complete dissolution of any semblance of American values and American heritage and culture, because we just
Because diversity.
yeah
Because political
in the
correctness.
name of diversity, in the name of destroying all that is American, we we put people that we were supposed to be defending in danger, our own citizens and foreign diplomats.
Magic Mikey, what do you think of this?
I mean, just imagine if the truck driver had a silencer.
True.
It would be
To quote
Mind blown.
Yeah.
To quote Hillary Clinton, I know a lot about silencers. Just ask Seth Rich. That's not a real quote, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just funny humor. You know what's
Seth Rich was informing her and accidentally shot himself 4 times in the back of the head.
It just
He
happens.
was just, his gun just jumped out of his hand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It flew too. Like they can fly.
Yeah.
You know what was so you know how after all these an Islamic terrorist drives a truck through something or whatever vehicle, conservatives always go, "Oh, so do you guys want to ban guns?" Or sorry, that's the initial thing's always liberals want to ban guns. So we're like, do you want to ban trucks now? And you know what BuzzFeed's response?
I was just gonna bring that up. BuzzFeed actually thinks we should.
They're trolling.
ban
They're
trucks.
trolling.
No,
They know.
have
They
you
get
read
it.
that article?
No, I know that they mean it, but they're saying it specifically for the purpose of most of their argument. It wasn't about public safety. It was congestion and whatever.
Part of it,
yeah.
They said that
And
the person.
emissions, I'm sure, was
Well,
part of the argument.
the person writing the article literally says, if we banned cars from every city in the U.S. tomorrow, we would stop vehicle terrorism overnight and save thousands of lives. But to be fair, the author did go on to say, obviously that's not going to happen tomorrow, that we're going to ban all cars. But they all go back to this part of that, self-driving cars are coming, so we don't need cars that can drive anymore. Almost like, hey, I hope ban some. That's what they're going to do next. They're going to ban you from being able to drive a car. I know it's going to happen. Just don't know when.
Oh, I mean, there's probably some
It's gonna
people
be
that
tragic.
shouldn't be able to drive a car. But
Second.
yeah. But I mean, that aside, you have no right to. There's no constitutional right for you to drive a car. So hey, take it away. Sure, I don't care.
It's not a constitution, bro.
Anyway, no, that's not how that's supposed to work. I was
I know,
kidding
it was a joke.
if that wasn't clear. But yeah, so. Yeah, let's ban driving tomorrow. How many people's lives would be saved? Yeah, okay. How many billions of dollars in lost revenue and value would happen, if cars were banned in major cities tomorrow? How many people would be out of work? How many people, would have no income? How many people would not be able to provide for their families without the mechanisms and systems that depend on intercity transportation? How many people would just kill themselves because their favorite thing in the world was getting up in the morning and driving? I don't know. That's probably not a high percentage, but it's probably just that alone is probably close to whatever the number of people that would get saved for not
drivers. That's what we
hit
have
by
here.
cars, I
We're
guess.
oppressing drivers.
But the point is that you're losing value in taking away a right like that, or a mechanism, something like that.
It's a human right.
It's producing value. Being able to have independent means of transport is something that is the potential to create value. It's a capital infrastructure, right? You take that away, you're going to lose value. You're going to lose employment. You're going to lose opportunities, and that is not good. That is not a thing that you want. Yes,
I agree,
it's horrible that if people get killed because they get hit in the street or whatever. But taking it away does not. It solves one problem and creates another one that you have no way of knowing or proving whether it's worse. And I would say it probably is worse. The amount of chaos and problems that would be caused by just banning driving in cities would be insane.
Well, here's the obvious thing. This person just wants to ban cars in cities. What if the terrorists, I don't know, got a car outside of the city and drove it into the city and killed people? It's not that difficult. I mean, just what's I know they were like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty analogous to the gun situation. Oh wow, guns are basically banned in
Chicago.
Philadelphia, but there's plenty of shootings.
Yeah.
Oh, how did that happen? Oh, jeepers.
Jeepers. It's sad. Any last words before we go on to Kevin Spacey?
No.
Okay. We're going to go on.
Case.
Spacey. Oh, I made so many Kevin Spacey jokes. It's terrible. But Kevin Spacey, everybody, he's a big actor, been in a lot of great movies. He has had allegations that he sexually advanced on a 14-year-old boy, and then other people started coming out. And what's really got people even on the left pissed off about him, so he kind of has no friends now, is that because of those allegations, he made an apology, which was on Twitter. And in the process, he came out and said, this is basically his apology. Oh, I was drunk. I don't remember much of it. Oh, and by the way, I'm gay, so I'm the feel sorry for me. I'm the victim here.
I mean, like,
what's he trying to...
And it's the best move.
It is
like,
the best move.
That is by far, like,
I'm surprised he didn't feel sorry for him. I mean, some did.
Well, yeah, no. I mean,
some did.
It half worked.
It did.
It's probably, I don't know. I mean,
he knows his side.
If I were him, I would hope I wouldn't have done what he did. But if I had, then yeah, that's a good solid move. It's like, okay,
he's exploiting gayness to distract from it.
I'm a repressed gay man in this culture, and in deeply homophobic circumstances, Hollywood. Okay,
really homophobic.
That won't allow me to truly to safely and comfortably express myself. So I had to just I keep it bottled up, and it was too much for me, and I took it out on the first person I could find, and I'm so sorry. That's that's probably the best you're gonna get away with.
He's not going to get thrown in jail. He's probably going to pay some money.
I give him that much credit.
He's going to have a few fines.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I should hope.
Yeah.
I mean,
Weinstein might be going to jail. Because now he's got rape accusation. Oh, yeah.
I hope he has lots of fun in jail, too.
Oh, yeah. He's going to get a taste of his own mess in more holes than one.
I hope there's lots of potted plants in jail.
Yeah, he won't be doing anything into them. They'll be doing him into them. But you know what's funny about all this? Well, it's not very funny. It's actually kind of I don't know how to describe my feelings. That Seth MacFarlane, who makes Family Guy, he put a Weinstein joke in his Oscar speech. He then put also a joke in Family Guy where Stewie, the little boy, is running out. He says, "Help! I've escaped Kevin Spacey's basement."
That was like 10 years ago.
I know, but
like he knew about it.
It's almost like everybody knew about this.
I know, but it's like,
wow.
But the thing is like most people keep quiet. He is like almost hinting at, is this a good thing or a bad thing what he's doing? Because he could go to the cops, but could that go anywhere? Probably not. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's his job to go to the cops. But I like that I think
he's doing the best he can. Like that's
what I'm saying. It's like
he's
a little
doing
conflicting.
The best that he can do.
Yeah,
if he doesn't have any proof, if he's just heard this as a rumor, the best that he can do is get other people to think it, and maybe eventually somebody comes forward. If there's enough public support behind something like that, like enough people are like, maybe he is a weird creep. Then it's like, okay, maybe I'll have people that are willing to actually believe me. Now, obviously, there's the potential for that to go wrong, right? Geez, everybody seems to believe this, and maybe I can get some attention by lying about it. But so far, none of these people have denied any of it.
Yeah, and
Weinstein didn't deny anything, and Casey didn't deny anything.
You notice how quickly they'll say, "I'm sorry for what I did." They come out very quickly.
But I love that it's always, and there's a bunch of people. There's a bunch more too.
Mark Halperin, Kevin Spacey, Weinstein.
Oh yeah, there was some guy who worked
Dustin
for
Hoffman.
The Atlantic.
He was a feminist.
A feminist.
Yeah, he was this big time feminist, and now they find out he's done this dirty crap.
Oh yeah, well,
irony.
But yeah, it was some guy. His name was Weasel Tear or something.
Weasel.
There was some guy. I think it's probably not pronounced that way, but that's kind of what it looks like. He's he's a big progressive person, and you know what? He did. His apology was so just. He basically said, and all of these people have more or less been saying, I'm sorry that people were upset about this. It's not. I don't feel bad about what I did. I'm sorry that this that you figured it out.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got caught.
I'm sorry this became I'm sorry I got caught.
Yeah. What I know tends to be the case.
People are such sleazebags.
I know. Well, it's they have really high moral standards, as you can tell. So. Yeah, but that's actually what pisses me off. Now I just thought of a point. They always act so morally superior. Always I'm in the right. It's like Jimmy Kimmel does that stuff where he's like, "Oh, I know the guns are bad. I should tell you all that you gotta get guns because they're bad and they kill people." And then I know Jimmy Kimmel didn't do this stuff, or maybe he did. I don't know. But these same people that try to act morally superior do the most immoral stuff. But I think when you find, I think a good signal that these things are true is like right after this thing, House of Cards got canceled after season 6. Netflix has fully cut ties with him, and they're probably the immediate thing I thought was, okay, how they gonna do with his character Frank Underwood? He's president of the United States in the show. He's the main character. How can they how can he show up on set after this? So they finally decide we're not even gonna have him. They'd already filmed like 2 episodes, so I guess the writers are gonna have to like. One of the rumors is like they're gonna kill him off somehow, and just have his wife, who's like really nasty and really bad, be the main character as kind of like the female version of him. And how are you going to promote that? Like, how are you going to sell this show now? Like, I think they're just going to release the season and be like...
Yeah, it'll probably go through this season and then die off.
Are they supposed to kill him off?
Yeah, that's what I just said. They're
okay.
going to they're probably going to kill him off. That's what the rumors say, and that's what makes the most sense, because he can't show up on set. And to make sense for the character, he would have to get killed off somehow. So
maybe... I don't know. Maybe they could like pull some like what's his face, Tom Walker. What's his name? Like CGI crap.
Oh, Paul Walker
Paul
from
Walker,
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they do that.
They cut together like a bunch of random scenes. Like
but this.
Yeah, I know. It was.
In Fast and the Furious, it was like sad. It's like, oh no, Paul died. And it's just like this is gonna be like
sad.
Kevin Spacey's gone. Oh, we did some bad things. Oops.
Yeah. No. This is. Yeah. I hope they just take one random scene and then just like
Show him get
wait
executed.
for him to turn his back that they already filmed and then just like somebody randomly shoots him.
Cuts to black.
It's never explained. It's not even part of the plot. He's just
do Sopranos style where it just cuts to black.
They don't even like do work with it. They're like, this guy is not even worth the.
Well, yeah, they should do Sopranos style where it just cuts to black at the end and that's it. The 6th season is just 2 episodes. The ones they've already filmed of him, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said he did sexual harassment on that set too of that show, so not looking good.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Imagine my shock.
It's not a one-time thing for these people. Are you saying that somebody that's like is enough of a creep to do it once, is enough of a creep to do it again and again and again and again to multiple different people in multiple different circumstances? Yeah. Imagine my shock. You shall imagine.
I shall. Okay, we have 2 more stories to get through. I'll try and do this one quickly because we got to talk about JFK files because they're back. But I really want to talk about, there was this campaign ad made by the Latino Victory Fund. There was an anti-Ed Gillespie ad. He's like a candidate running in some state somewhere. I forget where.
Gillespie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of the stupidest, disturbing, silliest ads I've seen. It basically shows some like minority children, like a Muslim and a Hispanic, walking home from school, and then this kid comes running up going, run! And then you see this pickup truck with a Confederate flag and like this stereotypical Southern boy, with his like pickup truck, and he's got a "Don't Tread on Me" license plate and an Ed Gillespie bumper sticker on it. They put the
that
guy.
Doesn't matter.
What?
No. I'm sorry. Side conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
basically them
the
trying to run
kids,
him
and
over.
like this one little kid is like running, and like of course they have like the whole diverse coalition here. It's like a little Mexican kid running from the guy, and he like sees a Muslim girl, and he's like, run, andale. No, he doesn't say that, but whatever.
That'd be
like,
hilarious.
He's just like coming around, just like all ominous,
scary
like tinted windows. And, it's so friggin' scary. Like, what's he gonna do? Like the guy is. What does he do? Like, what is the point? Like, what did he do? There's no context. He didn't. Did he scream at the kid? Did he say, "I'm gonna like catch you"? Does he have like a net coming out of the window?
Did
and
the
he's gonna
kids
like
threaten to
scoop
kill him?
up like and like also, why does the kid keep running next to the road? Like, go somewhere off the road.
Yeah,
like,
I was thinking
they do that in movies
so
all the
many
time.
Stupid things with this thing, and they like run into like 4 more people of like various different
minorities
identities. I'm surprised they didn't have like some like freaky tranny looking like person also like just like doing their makeup like horribly and they're like run, oh my god, run.
Drops her makeup. I'm surprised they didn't.
It's so pathetic. It's like what is. Like, what was the accomplishment there? It's like,
it's stupid identity
Are you saying that like this is the kind of? Are you saying this is who Ed Gillespie is? Or are you saying that
this is what they said at the end of the ad?
This is the kind of person that votes for Ed Gillespie?
At the end of the ad, they said, "Is this what Donald Trump and Ed Gillespie mean by the American dream?"
Yes.
What?
I hope so.
This is the American dream?
I'd vote for him. And they're just like, what are they?
His donations tripled after this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like, what else would that have an effect? Like,
And they were showing also pictures of like the Charlottesville protests and like parents watching as that narration came over at the end, as if America's like this whole racist country and like everybody's rising up and they're gonna kill minorities with pickup trucks.
Well, I mean,
it's so silly.
What was he doing? There was never any explanation. It was just like ominous. It's just like pure, just fear. Yeah, like they call Trump dark. These people have the audacity to call Trump dark and overly pessimistic. Are you kidding me? This is so ridiculous.
They doubled down on it.
Like it's not even explained. They say Trump's vague. What is this ad trying to? Is the guy trying to kill the kids? Because I mean, like, he could have just scored it. Like, I mean, it's like the little Mexican kid and you know, like a girl with a hijab on. It's like they're running like that fast. You know, like a truck can catch up to them.
Yeah.
Like, what is the goal here? Is he just trying to scare them? Because like,
and what always gets me is somebody made this ad and then somebody then approved of this ad.
Yeah.
How do you sign off on
Somebody's
this?
like, yeah, it's like,
This is a
I
good
wonder who
ad.
had the idea. Like, I really want to be in the room where this like idea was conceived. What if we have like a truck, right? Yeah. And it's got like a Confederate flag flying out of the back, and it's just chasing down little minorities.
And then they could put Egalewski's bumper sticker on it. It'd be even better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that would be like, how do we tie this into like, you know? Well, we'll just put a bumper sticker on it, like Edmund Gillespie, and then like poorly fuzz out the like. Come on, at least if you're gonna do that, at least just get a truck with a different grill or something. Like replace the grill. They like you can see in the one scene, like, they fuzzed out the Ford logo.
Ford should sue. They should sue.
Yeah, that's just no, they don't sue them because they fuzzed out the logo, but it still looks horrible if you stuff like that bothers me. Maybe I'm just autistic. I don't know.
Second. I'm kidding.
But this is like the least like problematic part of that ad.
No, Vince, this is the main problem.
Like, somebody, and it's just like, I'll give him. It was a decent like quality of production, just objectively. Like I mean, it could have been worse.
They could have had some more rule of thirds going on.
Like,
there,
I don't know. I didn't believe. Also, the kids started. The one part, the kids weren't great actors. I don't know. I'm not saying it's because they weren't white. I said I'm not saying it. They just weren't good actors.
Vince.
Like the little Mexican kid like runs by the girl, and like the second he runs by her, like she starts running too. Like you have no idea what's going on. You didn't see the truck. You're just walking along, and then he's like some little Mexican kid runs by, and you're like, oh, minorities are running now. I guess I better follow him.
Hashtag not all trucks. No, I hate this ad. I'm going to wrap up it. But they just doubled down on identity politics to the extreme, and it backfired so bad.
Yeah, and then, well, I mean, the other part of this was what we talked about earlier. They pulled it the day of the truck attack. Wait. Oh, geez.
Great timing.
Oh, geez. Literally the opposite of everything you feared happened. Like, you feared like a racist white guy, like, chasing down minorities, and what happened? The guy on the diversity visa ran down some people in New York with a truck.
Yeah, but it's I can't anymore. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not even gonna say any more comments. The last thing I need to talk about is the JFK files. The final 500 that they were holding off for review. It's finally been released. The main takeaway I got was about the Mexico City thing. Where JFK visited Mexico City. He met with some KGB people. He was spoken broken Russian. They then found out they had like a conclusion.
Wait, JFK met with them?
Did I say JFK?
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Okay,
I meant
that
Oswald.
would have really confused me.
JFK was the real assassin. He killed himself.
That was a body double that JFK shot himself.
Yeah.
And then like committed suicide. Yeah. Sorry.
Oswald went
in the
to
name of
Mexico
Russia.
City. Yeah, it was all about Russia. We all know it was Russia collusion back then. Oswald, they conclude, was then quote thinking about going out peacefully to a residency in the Soviet Union. It's also possible that he was getting documentation to make a quick escape after assassinating the president. Basically, what they think happened was he went to Mexico City, met with some Soviets and commies and all those people to get a residency somewhere, to get basically like somewhere to hide after he did this. In other words, he was planning to get out alive, and that's what they're saying he was probably doing there. That's basically all I got out of this. I haven't, some people are still reading through, but there's not much in this one. There's a lot of redactions, though. The first big batch, only names were redacted. This one was names redacted and some other stuff redacted. But is there anything you guys want to talk about in the first block?
Well, I just wanted to mention that why would JFK? I mean, if you're sort of new into the understanding of Democrats or commies, JFK was a Democrat, but he
Not
was
the type of Democrat you see today.
Today, I mean, often it's said that if JFK were around today, he'd be Republican, and I think that's probably true. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know if he would even be in politics because it's sickening.
Yeah.
But he understood the threat that communism and the people that pushed it were pushing it in the United States had, the threat that it posed to America and all the freedoms that we enjoy and hope to continue. And yeah, I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I believe he worked with McCarthy.
JFK?
Yeah. Like McCarthyism McCarthy, which of course he was vilified, but in the end it turned out that almost every single person he named turned out to be a communist.
McCarthy did nothing wrong.
I mean, there was some theatrical stuff that I don't know about, and some of it's weird, but look at that name. Look at you can see the list, and you can see the people that were arrested, fired, whatever for colluding with the Soviet Union, and it's basically matches up. It's just it took them a long time because McCarthy was thrown into a loony bin. But regardless, yeah, I mean, JFK, that's also the thing. I believe you can, I'm almost positive I'm correct about this, but JFK was working on the committee of people that was basically going through the government and looking for communists.
Yeah.
So JFK was somebody who
he was for real.
Did not. That was a basic point I wanted to make. JFK did not like communists, and so that's why the communists did not like him.
And now there are people on the left that love communism because it's so wonderful and it hasn't been done right.
There were people on the left then that loved communism. They just didn't have a stranglehold over all the institutions like they do today.
Yeah, that's my point.
The globalists.
The globalists.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to this?
No, not really. I mean, there were a lot of things that people didn't like JFK for too. More than just didn't he want to make the U.S. dollar backed by gold again too? And a lot of
I don't know, maybe.
I believe that's something that he wanted to do. I don't know. There were lots of reasons for people to kill him.
That's what
I mean, this is the problem. Whenever you're in that position and you want to make any kind of change, it doesn't matter how well. It doesn't matter if it's for the better or for the worse, but most of the time, if you're actually looking at this, because most of the changes that actually get made are for the worse. But whatever. If you try to make a change, there's always somebody in Washington that has an interest in maintaining the system as it is, or expanding whatever negatives that there are. So and they're usually very powerful. So yeah. No, I can. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money off of messing with our currency that would not be able to do that if it was backed by gold. And
Correct.
There's hundreds of other things that you could imagine that are broken about our system that would be against somebody with a lot of power and influence, personal interest to correct. The other thing.
I'll say one. I'll ask this as a final sort of question. What do you think is the truth of the JFK assassination? What do you think? What happened?
Idea.
You have no idea.
I honestly don't know. I don't like speculating on things that I don't know. I like if I have a theory, I'll put it. I had no idea.
I don't really necessarily know at all. If I definitely believe. I believe Oswald went to Russia for help and Russia said no.
Interesting.
So I think Russia knew about it, but I don't think Russia helped them. And I believe also, who's the guy who killed...
Jack Ruby?
Yeah, Jack Ruby. I believe he also would have been involved. I think that's the only reason he would have killed Oswald, to make it, to try and...
Well, because he met with him a few weeks before the assassination.
Yeah.
So I think, my theory is that Oswald...
And Jack Ruby also has met with, I believe... Oh, I forgot
Castro?
now. Yeah, he met with Castro.
Yeah.
And...
I think Jack Ruby said something important information to Oswald, or they shared something, and that's why he killed him, because he didn't want him squealing, or maybe protecting his skin for something. It's not the mob did it. I don't believe that. I don't
believe that either.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. But
I think it was Jack Ruby, Oswald, and maybe the KGB.
Oh, Not LBJ.
No.
Not
Maybe.
that acronym.
Could be.
Yeah, I had some weird stuff surrounding that.
Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with more real news.